RPG Day 2022. We are now at question 8. My name is François Letarte. The question is, who introduced me in RPGs? This is now my good friend Nelson Archambault. Nelson, yeah, he was the one. I told you about it. It was the question 3 where I was first introduced. And the older teenager that introduced me back then, it was in 1986. He was 18 years old, and it was Nelson. And, he had this project to introduce people to role playing games. So I was into that group. I was lucky enough to get into the group. So, yeah, he's the one. I haven't played a lot with him. I think I've played 2.5 sessions with him, and after that, we've never played together. He abandoned the project after 2.5 games, and after that, I was already with wings on my back and doing my own stuff. I became a game master very rapidly. But I remember back then, Nelson, by the end, when he was feeling that he was going out of the project, he called me at home and he saw in the little kid I was 13-year old, the potential of being a game master because I was probably the most enthusiastic about this project. So he called me, hey, Francois, could you fill in up for game master tomorrow? And I said no back then. I wasn't feeling ready for that. When he called me, I was having, my little red box, my new red box, and I was about to try with my brother and my neighborhood friends, but I was not ready to go in the library and commit myself to be a GM. But it's just to show how confident he was about me. It was me that didn't felt ready for that, and probably it would have been catastrophe, catastrophe anyway. But but we never know. Maybe if I said yes, it would have worked. But he believed in me, and many years later, we just wasn't in touch, But I was hired into some projects, and he was one of the manager of the project. He was my boss to at some extent. So we've talked about this. Okay, we've talked about role playing games, and that's where we kind of got in touch again and since that time it was mostly 25 years ago that we kind of worked together, and as of today we were seeing each other for the job because at the libraries was some kind of a boss again. Okay. And so every time we saw each other we talk about role-playing games, and I was always thanking him for introducing me, even if it was for 2.5 games. It left a deep mark into me, and we were talking maybe of having a game together. Just the time wasn't fit, but there was this talk. Maybe we could have a little game together, just for the fun of it. He saw me run some games because at my job, he happened to be there when I was running some games, and he told to me, "Well, you learned well." Okay, and he was proud of that, even though he had a little. I once again, when it was just 2.5 games that we really played together in 1986, but yeah, there was some sort of a connection. Now he has moved far away. He has a new job into a far away city, but maybe it will happen. There's in my little book of stuff I want to do in role playing games. It would be to run a game for Nelson. In a way, for me, it will be to thank him. Okay, I would like to treat him with a game. That is a project. Yeah. So thank you, Nelson. I've made the same in French. Maybe I will share the French version to him, but I said thank you, even in English, to my good friend Nelson Archambault. Tomorrow we'll have question number 9. See you. Bye.